Tomorrow is an exciting day, y'all. I get to take the Chevelle to get the exhaust done. Yeah, it's about to happen, y'all, and I'm so super excited about that. I can't wait to hear what this thing sounds like with my new mufflers. If you guys didn't know, I bought the Spintech 9000 muffler. Shout out to Memphis Mike and Big Slim 88 LSX Cuddy. And yeah, but I had to wire up some new relays to get the fans to kind of work properly. There's some small things I gotta do. I gotta fill this in. I bought some insulation kind of padding there that I'm going to use for that, so hopefully that works. So basically just putting everything together. I bought an oil catch can that I'm going to put right there. Well, I have to tie it in back here. So I guess if you guys didn't know, on my 5.3, this is actually a PCV valve, and it actually, you can pop it in and out and replace it if it goes bad or whatnot and take it out. But I guess on some of these later model truck engines, they actually used like an orifice type system, and I didn't know that. And I was always wondering why this little tube or nipple was basically looked like it was like installed or like, embedded or actually part of the valve cover. And so what I had come to find out is actually a part of the whole orifice type system. So if it stops working correctly, then you actually have to buy the whole valve cover. And those valve covers, I think they're like $100 or something like that, or just under. So or it could be more, I'm not sure, but which kind of sucks. So I don't really want to run this tube or this, that's why I have a filter on it. I don't really want to run a hose from that to the intake manifold. I just don't want to gum up anything in the intake. So I'm actually going to put a oil catch can. So I don't know where I'm going to put it though. That's the thing. So what my goal with this engine is to try to keep it as clean and as straight and streamlined as possible, with like very minimal wires showing at all. And just very little things showing that's out of place. I don't want anything that kind of looks like it shouldn't be there. So I don't know where I'm going to put it. I might just temporarily put it somewhere for now. That way it's up and working. But we shall see. I'll kind of just, play it by ear, but I might just maybe put it like right here or something like that, where the windshield wiper motor goes, kind of just for now. And then just kind of go from there. So we'll see. I don't know. But anyways, I got to install that. I got a little radiator overflow reservoir. I was thinking about maybe putting that right here behind the relays. However, I might put it, if I have room, right here on this side. Maybe tie it in to that. That might be a good location for it. And just some other odds and ends. Just some really kind of small jobs before I kind of take it up there. So I also got a panel through connector that basically runs from, because I have a battery in the trunk and I have the power wire that goes through, and I drilled a hole like down in there, and then basically goes to the starter. And if I ever put anything in here that needs power, like these fans, I got to figure out where I'm going to put the actual power lead from the battery from. I thought about tying it into the alternator plug, but I really don't want to do that. So what I probably will do, and just to kind of make it easy for me and myself, just in case I have to put if I have to apply 12 volts to anything else in here, if I put anything else up here, is I'm probably going to put that panel through connector. And what I'm talking about is this right here. So this right here. So basically this is a panel through connector that you can basically run from your power wire that runs through your car, tied on one end, and then this sticks through the firewall, and then you can tie the other lead on this end and kind of make it like just a little bit more of a streamlined look, I guess. And that way, if you ever needed to hook up any other type of leads to get to a 12 volt source, you have that. And I originally was going to use this right here, which I got from like a 90 94 to 96 Caprice or something like that, and I was just gonna install it kind of above there, which wouldn't look bad. But again, I'm trying to hide things. I'm trying to, again, make it look as stock appearing and as clean as possible. So I think I'm going to maybe possibly go that route. That's kind of going to be like a last thing. I don't really need to do that right now because I've been kind of feeling like I'm spreading myself a little thin now because I'm trying to play catch up, and I've been doing a lot of stuff on the Caddy, and I'll probably take you to the Caddy to show you that, because I'm trying to upgrade the stereo system. And man, that stereo system, whoever installed that, it's a mess, y'all. I mean, just wires kind of connected, you know, half-ass, and just, you know, it's nasty, man. So I went ahead and pulled out excuse me, I went ahead and pulled out the deck, and it just looks like, I don't know, just messed up spaghetti all over, like wires everywhere. It's crazy. Like nothing's tied nicely together. There's even some stuff that's kind of tied by hand and wrapped around. It's gross in there, y'all. So I don't know who installed that, but I'm trying to fix it. So I bought a whole new deck. I bought a flip out deck, and I bought a backup camera. I bought some wiring just in case I hook up an amp in there. I'm just really trying to make it nice, and I've gotten a lot of stuff dialed in on that car. All right, y'all. So here's the Caddy, dirty as hell, but. So yeah, this is when I was fixing the leak, but there's where the wires were all kind of run down under here, and I have this towel here just to kind of protect some of it, just in case. I was leaving this panel off just since it's been raining here so much. I'm trying to see if it is going to continue to leak after I fixed it. And I actually think the seal is bad because it actually slowed it down a lot, and I haven't seen any leaking, just very, very little. So I bought actually a new weather stripping, and that should be coming here from Rock Auto soon. And so that should actually be the final part of it. But this is basically what I'm talking about here, y'all. So I actually have it tucked in there a little bit nicer than what it was. But I mean, this is just insane. Like nothing's tied in nicely. You can see, like, when they put in the wiring, they just basically just tied them together by hand and wrapped them with electrical tape. One of the remote wires for the amp was actually just wrapped around this. It was like literally just like wrapped around, gosh, where's that remote lead at? I don't know, but basically it was exposed, and it was just nasty, y'all. Just, I don't know why people do that. This remote wire and RCA plugs that go to the amp is not good, so I gotta take that out. The reason why I have this dash out too is because this is actually a indicator light for an alarm, and it would always actually kind of come on and off. Like the light would light up on and off when I turned on and off the car, and there actually is a horn, a siren under the hood. So I thought that maybe this car had an alarm at one point. So when I took this off, I took the bottom panel off, and then I found this. So this right here is an alarm system, and this is the brain from it. So, and it looks like it's all still intact, and it looks like it's actually, this actually looks like it's ran pretty good. And then what also alerted me too is when I took off this fuse panel, I saw this right here, which is I thought to be a valet switch for the alarm, and sure enough it was. So I took this off, the brains off, to see what brand it is, and it's called K9 or something like that, some off brand. The model is like K9 Eclipse. So I looked them up, and you know, actually they popped up on eBay and Amazon. Not a whole lot, but a fair amount. But what I wanted to try to do is try to find a remote for this specific brand and this specific model. And the ones that I found didn't have any remotes that they sold separate. But when I went on eBay, there was one company, one guy that had one that was used and supposedly it works, and had a lot of feedback and 100% feedback. So I felt good about that. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought it. So there is I found directions online too, how you can program that remote to this specific brand of alarm. And I kind of tested it out to see if this thing would even chirp. So I put it in the program mode, and it said it's supposed to do one beep. And when I did that, it actually beeped. So when I heard that one long chirp. So that was good news. So I'm hoping when I get the remote in that this is all fully functioning and working, and I will basically have a free alarm system that came with the car too. So that'll be pretty dope if that works. So I've gotten quite a bit done. I actually took out the electric fans. I still gotta finish wiring those up, but I'm gonna show you guys what I did with the fans. I got my catch can. So this is my oil catch can. This is actually just in a temporary location. I have it bolted to where the windshield wiper motor goes, but I wanted to put it on there just in case, you know, I have to drive it around or whatever. I wanted to put it on there at least for now. I have it mounted. I have everything mounted. This is just the eBay catch can that I got for like $24, man. It was super cheap, but it's actually in like really good condition, and it's pretty well made. So I have the hoses all hooked up. I just don't have them put in yet, just in case I had to route other wires and stuff around it. But basically, you put the one from the valve cover to the end port here, and it has a built-in kind of filter as well to filtrate any type of debris or contaminants or anything like that, so it doesn't get past that. And then you have the actual catch can right here that actually screws off if I want to ever empty it, and then it has an out port here that goes back into the intake, so that way no oil gets back in, just fresh air for the most part goes back into the intake. So got that mounted there. I'm in the process of mounting my overflow tank reservoir right here, and that's going to be mounted to my fan. There's a little arm on the fan that I'm mounting it to, so I'm going to put that there. This right here, y'all, and I wanted to show you this. I kind of had this idea of using this as a I don't even know what to call it, kind of like a rubber insulator of some sort to kind of keep all the cool air that the fan pulls from to keep all the air inside from what the fan pulls the air out of the radiator. I bought this, and actually this is actually I think they call it bulb trim, and it's actually for a door. And they make it in various sizes, and they make these bulbs in various sizes. I think this bulb size is about a 3/8 inch bulb, and it works best when it's kind of like barely just compressed. And this part here, I think, actually hooks up to, it slides onto a 1/16 of an inch thick flange or whatever you want to call it. And it was a little thin for the fan, so I actually just took a screwdriver and just kind of widened it all out. And I'll show you here what I did to it. Let me walk out here. So I had to take the fan off to install it, but this is what it looks like here, y'all, and it actually looks kind of factory. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me see if I can maybe move this fan out here for you guys, so you guys can kind of see more in depth. But yeah, there we go. So all I did was kind of cut it to fit, and there's some openings here and here, and I'll just probably address those at another time. But it actually looks factory, y'all, and I think it'll sit pretty perfect against that radiator, and I have it spaced out pretty well. What I did is I kind of just sprayed like WD-40 in between there, so it would slide on nice, and then I'm just gonna wipe off the excess. But yeah, y'all, that looks pretty good. I think that was a good idea. The only thing is these aren't rated for really like extremely high heat, but I figured since it was just sitting on the outer fan or fins of the radiator, and plus since there's air inside kind of keeping it a little bit cooler, that it wouldn't get too hot. But I think it's good up to like 150 degrees or more that it'll sustain before it actually starts to lose its structure, or maybe even start, I don't know what the melting point is on it, but I know it says it's rated up to about 150 degrees or more, so we'll see. If it does not work because of the heat, I actually have another idea. I was going to maybe just wipe or coat it with just like a little bit of like RTV, and I think that would probably work as well. Plus you wouldn't be able to see it anyway if it didn't look great. So that's another idea, but I'm gonna grow with this for now and kind of see how it works.